today we will be continuing on what we are trying to compare AWS and Azure. I think it is more at part three level where we are. I think today we will complete this and then move to the Azure, more going in depth into the Azure specifics now. So I think this covers the breadth of Azure in comparison with AWS. In addition to that, we will at least with this you will get a hang of what are the products, what are the product names at least in Azure or an equivalent in AWS and all those stuff. But I think following by completing this analysis, I think let's start going into each of the product in detail. That is what I planned for today. So with that, I think if you just recollect, wow, I think we covered a lot of areas starting from storage to VMs to compute to network to storage. So and then data warehousing and all those areas we covered. I think we have a few more areas to be left out. So primarily, want to start with security, identity and access. So all these things are clubbed under one category because there are various products touching each of these space in both Azure and AWS. So I think I think lastly I completed on this slide, but want to continue from here. So security space primarily in AWS it is IAM, whereas in Azure it is Active Directory, role-based access control. These are all uh, specific products meant for specific purposes in Azure. But here on the AWS, it is all under one broader umbrella of IAM. So here also the broader umbrella is Active Directory, but there are specific products under the security space which are where Active Directory is not the primary goal, for which they added sub-products under that category. But they all come under the umbrella of Active Directory. But yeah, they all but there are separate products as far as Azure is concerned. Um, so yeah, I think definitely we have in our. I mean, this Active Directory is more popular just because all the on-premise infrastructure, who are all Microsoft shops or even not even Microsoft shops. I think Azure Active Directory is more popular on-premise security management tool. So the advantage where Azure scores is that since most of them already have some existing licenses on Active Directory, so you can very well bring them using Azure hybrid model. There is a model. I mean, I will cover on this in the VM also, the VM sessions today. So there's something called Azure hybrid model where you can bring your existing on-premise licenses into cloud, and also you also get a lot of discounts on the cloud prices for that. So yeah, so you can make use of that advantage, but whereas that is not available in the AWS because they don't have any other exclusive product in the on-premise world equivalent, but they're completely on cloud. But the good part in AWS is that it has integration to all the popular on-premise AD equivalents. I mean, it's not just AD in this market. There are other products are also there in on-premise world, but IAM has integration to all the popular security products. So that yeah, both has their plus and minus. So just sort of comparing these two here. Then uh, uh, coming to the subscription model, I think you have to manage in a typical organization. You have to manage a lot of subscriptions. Because each department within an enterprise will act as if it is a independent company, right? So it is but at the end billing will be all in the one company's name. So then in that case, how to manage all this thing, all the subscriptions under that enterprise. So that will become more complex. So the organization is even bigger. So that's where the subscription management and in addition to that, this role-based access control, the combination of these two will help to manage a bigger organization using a lot of Azure accounts. But equivalent to that in the AWS world is organizations. AWS organizations will give you that hierarchy. Yeah, again, in one department, it is possible that there could be multiple projects which either they'll be using or AWS or Azure. So there will be a bigger hierarchy if you think on a broader perspective. If you see it from an the whole enterprise perspective, that itself become a bigger hierarchical tree. So that will be even complex when you talk about bigger organizations. That's where these tools will help you to manage that effectively. Then coming to authentication, the MFA, the second or apart from your user ID and password, it is good to have more than one authentication aspect. So that's where MFA will come into picture. MFA again supports hardware-based MFA, software-based MFA, both are supported. So I think the software-based MFA is going towards the mobile app model nowadays. So, but apart from that, you'll also have RSA token, which is hardware-based MFA. So that is also available. Both of them support hardware and software. Then the domain services. So it is the managing the Active Directory domains. So again, every organization will have they will manage more than one domain, and managing the domains. Especially when you're talking about bigger organizations, there are a lot of domains will be there, and managing those with and also accesses for those domains, so that itself become complex. So that's where this Active Directory domain services is the one which helps you. Again, here it is directory service. Then coming to the B2C world, which is more about I'm talking about the devices now here. So it is not just the and applications. Even now, yeah, the world is now all people are using a lot of devices. Same laptop is also a device. The hardware is also a device. So managing the end customer or onboarding so the end customer. I mean, it is possible to control your organization in terms of what operating system, other stuff. But when you're exposing to a customer, end customer, so the customer can use mobile, or it can use higher version of mobile, lower version of mobile. And also he can use any other different laptops or hardware. So it is managing the end customer and onboarding an end customer into the system, and also giving him access on a specific modules. So all those things also is a complex security management process. So in terms of how you don't want to give the end customer complete access to your system, but he should have access only to the restricted features of the application, or restricted modules of your application. So then there comes the complexity. So managing that will help that Azure Active Directory B2C will help you there. So it is basically managing the end customer, and the managing the this end customer is not part of the enterprise, so he's outside the enterprise. So like for example, social login is one such feature where you can manage, and with the Facebook login, Google login, you will onboard a end customer into a system, and then you can manage your permissions there. So that is Azure Active Directory B2C. Here it is Cognito. Then next comes this managing the authorization aspect in terms of what this particular user should have access to. So what particular Azure resources or AWS resources this person who is logging in should have access to. So that is all managed with Azure policy. Here it is AWS organizations. I mean, this is the same product. So you can enforce this at an organization level. I mean, generally there are some rules which are managed at the entire enterprise level. Meaning there will be security admins at enterprise level. The entire enterprise customers, which is like employees. For example, there will be something that could be set at a enterprise level. Rules that could be set at enterprise level. For example, password should change every 90 days. That applies to all the employees within an organization. So that's one policy, right? So that is so there comes complexity where you can enforce these policies at a enterprise level, or to a specific group or a specific subgroup also. So yeah, so such complexities will be there. But yeah, so all these things can be managed with either policy or organizations. Um, Then, of course, the groups itself. I mean, a lot of users put into groups, and all the permissions will be managed at a group level. So managing these groups itself is a complex concept when the enterprise is very big. So yeah, that's where this management groups is a equivalent product in Azure, and here it is organizations again. So that's on this side. Just moving on, there are other security aspects which are not coming under the bigger. This is all securities and identity and management specific to organizations. So this is more additional miscellaneous tools under the security aspect. So coming to that security center, the this is one of the I mean more popular product that is getting. I mean, it is getting a lot of traction in the Azure space. I mean, just because I don't know whether you heard this one in the last Azure event hosted. So it was mentioned that Microsoft is going to spend like around $5 billion on security aspects. So they are going to spend a lot on the security area. So and that's when this security center is launched in that forum. So yeah, so in that space, security center is primarily to look at and provide recommendations to you where your what are the good practices to follow, and also it can scan your entire functionality and give you suggestions. So that is where the security center plays a major role. And then yeah, here it is inspector and on the AWS equivalent side. Then this managing the certificates, right, when you're looking for HTTPS. HTTP is a non-secured platform, but where if you're looking for a secured platform, then HTTPS stands for secured. So HTTP secured platform is what you use, and so but for HTTPS, you should manage the certificates. So the certificate generally will be deployed on a web server, and then and also in the application also there'll be security validation. The HTTPS certificate validation will be there, either in a Java code or a Python code equivalent. So only if the security certificates, the public key and private key of the trusted certificates are matching, only then you will be allowed to access the application or resources. So yeah, so managing that, the typical problems are is that I mean, very common use case. A problem statement is that generally the certificates will come with a validity period, like 1 year or 2 years or whatever. So, but generally people won't track this the end date, um, and suddenly one day none of the I mean customers will raise a ticket or production issue saying that this service is not accessible or not working. After some troubleshooting, they find that the certificate is got expired. So and to renew that certificate and all these things will take some time. So till the time your application is down, right? So it's a very common problem in the on-premise world. And so that to address that issue is where these tools will help you in the cloud. This certificate managers, or on the Azure side, it is app service certificates. So these tools will help you to track your certificate validity, not just a validity check, but even to create a public certificates and private keys, and also managing them, who is using this, which resource is using this, and um, all those things can be managed. I mean, even if you take the common problem in the on-premise world is enterprise will have a certificate. Uh, where it will be passed to developer. Developer will create another application B, and then he will put it there. But at some point, it is difficult to track who is using the certificate, which application is using the certificate. So those all those things are primarily addressed in this tooling. Very simple problem statement, but it is all those common problems were addressed in these toolings. Right? So that's about the certificate management equivalents. And then advanced threat protection. So this is more about managing the threats. Once, I mean, as part of security, you should not just enforcing the security, also you have to you should every day new security threats are getting coming on the internet. So it's a continuous monitoring process where you need to have to should have advanced threat protection mechanisms to handle all these malwares and other stuffs. So that's where this tooling, advanced security threat protection tool and guard duty. So that these are the equivalent tools on AWS and Azure, which can help you to continuously monitor this threat protection softwares. Then this is more about the service trust portal. So this is more about managing the portal with the help of service trust. It's more about consolidating all your artifacts in one place, so that it's easy to. I mean, your organization will have a lot of artifacts, and it will have its own hierarchy who can manage what and all those things. So all those things you can put it in one place so that it is easy to manage all your artifacts. So that is what is the equivalent of artifact here and the service trust portal here. And then so generally when it comes to managing your various artifacts and who should have access to it and all those things is very difficult process when especially when the organization grows big. So again, these are all common problems in the on-premise world, and the cloud world has understood that, and they yeah they added these tools which can help you to manage all things better in a better way. The next is the yeah again the advanced one specific threat, which is DDoS, is one specific threat which is more popular and more attacking compared to other threats. So that's why DDoS protection is for which I think both of them have a specific products on in the cloud world. So here it's called DDoS protection service, and here it is AWS Shield. So it's primarily meant for DDoS specific attacks on your web applications, primarily targeted. So, so all this guard duty or artifacts or the equivalents of this. So these are all primarily for public internet. I mean, especially when your application is on public internet, you are prone to all these attacks. Um, so so yeah, I think it is also we can keep all the background stuff in your own private network, but at the end when you want to manage when you want to reach your end customer who is on general public internet, so you need to expose things on public internet. So once you expose to your application to public internet, yeah, so these are the common problems where you face all these things like threats and managing your certificates and security aspects. So it's a continuous process, so you need to you need to manage all these things to make your life easier. So generally your DNS layer, I mean the equivalent here is AWS is the Route 53. Here it is Azure DNS. Prior to these, I mean, if you look at the architecture, all these things they come at that level. I mean, at the DNS level. So it is all before DNS. I mean, the traffic coming to before DNS. All this threat protection tools will do the monitoring, and then they will ensure that the if there is a threat, it will not allow you allow that connection inside your network. So yeah, those are all the entry level barriers. Yeah, or guards at the entry level. So right, so these are that's the security aspect on this. I think let's quickly touch upon the AI and machine learning side. So here on the machine learning side, Azure machine learning is a broader umbrella of all products put into one place. So here it is the broader umbrella is SageMaker. So so these two guys, I mean, yeah, this all the tools that we're talking about will have, yeah, they are all childs of more or less the childs of these broader products. So yeah, I think yeah, it can do everything. What I mean, whatever the industry is now talking on machine learning, whatever is the latest and greatest, everything is available in both these worlds, and both of them are heavily investing on this machine learning, and they're also trying to introduce all these things into the products as well. All the learnings that is done now, I think they're using all the machine learning concepts and trying to add them to the other AWS or Azure products and to make that product even better. Uh, I mean, one such example in the AWS which I saw is that the storage aspect. So I think if you remember the storage options, so you have various options based on how much of your data is available. Like for example, your frequent access data in the storage area will be kept, and it comes with a cost. And similarly, if you don't want to use the data, so you can use an archival or archival based storage, which is like less cheaper cost. So at some point, organizations they don't keep track of their usage of the data. They dump everything whatever they get. So maybe in at this point it is useful. Maybe 6 months later they may not be useful, but you will not track it to move to archival if you're not using it. But these machine learning algorithms they track your usage, and they try to reduce your cost by moving the unused um, uh, files or anything. So they recommend you to move them to an archive storage, saying that hey, you not used this file for quite some time. Can this be moved to an archival storage? So that way you can reduce your cost. So all those recommendations are all, yeah, those are all now coming up into the core products as well. Yeah, of course, that is a different aspect, but yeah, I just thought the usage of these are coming inside the products itself now. Um, then there's bot framework. Here it is Alexa skills kit. Alexa is more popular. I think the skills. I think is one of the most um, um, popular product in the machine learning world now. Is of course everyone have their own products. The voice enabled devices. But Alexa is in fact more popular of all. So, but here in Azure they don't have anything equivalent as far as I know. But they are trying to come with their own framework where with which you can communicate with Alexa also, or any other Google's product also. So and other products from Samsung and others also. So yeah, they gave me the framework. So, but they don't have an equivalent Alexa equivalent on this page. I think they have I forgot the Siri equivalent in the phone. I forgot the name of it. In Microsoft has something under machine. I don't know whether you remember, guys, but it didn't click well. So. Mm, right, yeah, and then the speech services. It is it's more about managing your speech, so voice to text and text to voice. So that is what the speech services is a product in Azure, and here it is Lex. Language understanding, Louis. This is also more. This is one of the popular product in the machine learning side in Azure. So Louis is primarily it can understand multiple languages. And more languages are getting added into the list. But yeah, uh, it is now. I think many uh, companies are trying to pilot these products as part of their bot services and other language-based voice recognition softwares, where they want to introduce multiple languages, so it can translate various languages. So that's about this. And then speech services is again here it is poly and transcribe. So they can. It's more about transcribe and poly. They come under the category of translation from one service, one language to other, or one language to other language. Poly is meant for multi-language, and transcribe is primarily for the script written in one language, trying to convert that to a script on the other side. But here, yeah, speech services is the equivalent here. Um, and then cognitive services, here it is recognition. So yeah, I think there are a lot of tools are there. I mean, it's primarily it detects the device how by looking at the visually you should train it such a way that it can detect whether you showed apple or orange or whatever. So according to identify. So that's more about seeing it and then identifying it, kind of a category. Yeah, and then the virtual assistant, and then here it is skills kit. So yeah, I think they're trying to pilot many things in this space, but yeah, I think this area is going to be yeah, I should have a close watch. I think this will they all come into our daily life at some point. And then IoT.
Yeah, this is where
Sorry, yeah,
this and IoT in both the spaces, AWS. Yeah, even in IoT also they have just machine learning and IoT, right? Both. These AWS has lots of cool widgets, gadgets along with the services, so that you could test it out. And they have Alexa, right? Alexa is meant for voice. Now it's used for even chat box. So same technology they have used for it's called Lex. So Lex is used nothing but Alexa behind the scene. So since Alexa is so popular, they're trying to use the same thing for IoT based devices to voice activate and the thing. So machine learning with uh, Alexa integration, it's what AWS is really betting on, and SageMaker is one of the cornerstone for making the algorithms, machine learning algorithm to reality kind of a thing. It's really cool tool. There is a there is something called AIML, okay, artificial intelligence machine language. So what it does is once you give the use cases, it automatically creates you the algorithm behind the scene for you. So they are trying to work out something similar to that. So it's going to be a great space to watch for.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
right. And there's this IoT space is where yeah, I think both of them are planning to enter very deep, and in fact, Azure, I see, is within a very short time they also picked up in this area well and trying to compete with AWS. So I think they're also investing heavily on Microsoft investing heavily on this IoT space as well, which is also announced in the last event. Uh, so the security and IoT is the most yeah, I think they're going to spend at least from 5 billion in the next 5 years, or something like that. I don't exactly don't remember the numbers, but yeah, these are the two areas where Microsoft is heavily betting upon. Um, yeah, so and just to different information that I had is that this Microsoft is one of the company now, since they invested heavily or planning to invest in heavily on security space. Uh, they are advertising. I saw an advertisement where this, I mean, in the AWS, sorry, in the Azure portal, or in somewhere in the security space, I saw they have 3,500 security professionals working. That is a very big number. I mean, for a 3,000, I mean, security itself is a is a is a very rare space where you get difficult to get professionals. So but yeah, Microsoft is having 3,500 security professionals working. So which means that is an investment that shows their investment in the security area. So um, yeah, that's a different topic, but yeah, I just thought of sharing that knowledge. Um, right, and this as coming to IoT space, IoT Hub is like a parent product in this IoT space, and everything ties back to this parent product. Here it is AWS IoT, and here it is Azure IoT Hub. Um, and this IoT, this they're trying to add more protocols of late into this product, into their core products. I think this IoT space is having a lot of protocols. So this protocols this protocols is what is important in this IoT space, where ranging from small protocols to a bigger range of protocols. Like I mean, since I work in this IoT space, uh, so since I work in the IoT space, I yeah I use a lot of protocols in this space. But yeah, I think market in this IoT space is like there are too many protocols to support. And not one or two, or it is not, it is there are many protocols to support. So this area is so vast and so deep, and it is nearly impossible for any one product supporting all the protocols. So that is nearly impossible. But yeah, it is at least, if not all, at least the popular protocols are getting are being added support to the IoT space in the AWS and Azure world. For example, the protocols like MQTT, which is more popular, and that is being supported in all. Uh, and similarly, the industrial IoT protocols, which is tapping. That's where the more money is also there in this IoT world, where this industry IoT protocols can be supported. So those protocols are also being added. But yeah, the idea of this products is that now every now and then they're acquiring smaller companies who support specific protocols, and they're adding that features into their products. That's how this product space is growing. But yeah, but at least a lot of decent customers are there in this space already in both these areas. So yeah, of course, this IoT is all pushing the data from. It's all about device management, right? So how will you connect? How will you connect a device, and how will you uh, ensure that you give permissions to the device so that the device can publish some data, and so the device is something is on the field, and remotely you can control the device, either switching it on, switching it off, or connect, disconnect, or send read data, send write data. So you can give a lot of instructions to the devices on remotely sitting in a building. So that's where the device management is one of the complex area. Uh, Device management is like that includes a bigger life cycle in it. So managing that, and it's not just one device. I mean, there'll be, if you take any organizations in the IoT space, they will have very small devices to very big devices. So even one manufacturing plant will have so many devices, and managing it is just for one manufacturing plant. Imagine that for a the the mega the velocity to entire city, entire area, and entire country. So that if you see that itself is a difficult task to manage. So yeah, so all these tools will help you to manage that effectively, like bulk upload of the devices to the platform, bulk transactions you can do on devices. I mean, it is not impossible to do if you want to do a read, or if you want to connect a device, or if you want to disconnect a device. So it is impossible to go each and every device, connect. It's like so many devices will be there, right? It's impossible to. Generally, you do a bulk operation. So all these bulk operations can be all managed using this yeah the softwares. Yeah, so that is about IoT hub, and now the IoT is coming to all the intelligence of IoT is all in cloud so far, but they want to bring that to the edge layer. Edge is more um, yeah, one of the design pattern where this IoT edge is all the intelligence is happening on cloud. So which means you need to push all the data to cloud. That itself is the costliest affair, right? Pushing the data from a device to a cloud is a costly affair. So how about bringing down that network cost? So then the intelligence, they want to bring it to the device itself rather than doing that on cloud. So that's where this IoT edge design pattern has become more popular, where the intelligence based on the data that they have, so they come up with an intelligence factor and embed that intelligence factor onto the device itself, so the device can take a decision rather than sending every data to cloud. So that is the idea of this IoT edge. And here it is green grass on the AWS world. Then it's all about data ingestion to the cloud. So that's where event hubs come into picture. So all this data emit a lot of data, and you need to ingest that stream of data. I'm calling it stream because it's continuous flow. It's a stream of data. So to pull that in that such volume of stream of data, you need special softwares. So that's where this event hub or Kinesis on this world, Kinesis firehose and Kinesis streams, they will help you to ingest the data into the cloud. Yeah. So now once the data is in cloud, so you can I mean uh, you have the data with you, and you also have the intelligence factor that you built from the data. But you want to try or test that intelligence factor on the devices. Um, and so it is not possible to do the testing on the real device before you test it on the simulation. So generally they start with a simulation. They try to pilot this on a simulated device, which is a replica of the actual device. That's all it's called, digital twins. From the name itself, you can say it's a twin. Twin is a replica of the actual device. So they try to pilot that intelligence factor onto the twin, which resonates similar to the actual device, and understand the behavior and see whether that will work. So it's a pilot. Once the pilot works, and they will generally roll it out to in a phased manner to devices, and then that works, then they will roll out to all the devices. That's how this IoT world works. Yeah, here it is, IoT things graph. So so this IoT device, IoT management itself is a complex topic. So there are a lot of investments happening, and a lot of AWS and Azure, even in Google, they're acquiring a lot of companies in this, small companies in this, and trying to bring into their product, because it is difficult to support various protocols in this space. Yeah. So sorry, this is my passionate subject, so I took more time here. So yeah, so that's about IoT. I think the last topic is encryption and firewall. It's more about um, encryption. Again, come under the security aspect, uh, but but there are separate softwares under this area. That's why it's categorized as separate category. So Azure storage service encryption is like once the data is physically will be there in the storage platforms. So here it is S3, which is object storage. So here it is Azure storage. So these are the popular storage platforms on both sides. So once the data is available in your storage, so you need to encrypt that data at rest. The encryption. There are two aspects when someone talks about encryption: encryption at rest, encryption in transit. So encryption at rest is like once the data is at rest. I mean, it's in storage. It's on rest, right? So you can encrypt the data once the data is physically available in your storage. That's why it's called encryption at rest. So, but this is encryption at rest. But also there are encryption in transit is also another category, which is getting a lot of popularity now. So encryption in transit is primarily, that's where the HTTPS will help you. So once the data is moving out of your network, uh, so then you will encrypt it, and then make the data in transit. Similarly, on the other side, who is receiving it will decrypt uh, your data and then use it. So basically, over the wire, the data will be encrypted. So yeah, so that's the difference between encrypted at rest and encrypted in transit. So yeah, so this is talking about encryption at rest. So primarily the storage. So the storage platforms have Azure Storage Service Encryption. Here it is S3 server-side encryption. And there is also another product which is key management service. So like with encryption keys, I mean, when you say encryption, you should always manage keys. That is the biggest headache. Like there will be public key and a private key, so you need to manage that. So and you have to store this in a secure way. Even if someone gets the private key, then yeah, the data can be hacked. So even if you do encryption, so the private key is something which should be secured. You should maintain it in a secure way. That's why this key management service in AWS world will help you with that. So um, then coming to this key vault is all vault. From the name itself you can say it is just it can store and lock it, so no one can see it. Even the cloud vendors also can't see it. That is what they claim in these products. Um, so it is like putting your data in an encrypted format. No one can see it except you. Only if you have your key. So just like yeah, you can open a locker with a key, right? So only if you have a key you can open it. Otherwise, you can't. No one can open it. So that is a concept. So yeah, so yeah, it is again. You should manage the key, say in a safe way. That's where you use again key management service. So this key management service and KMS will go in hand. I mean, so this KMS, which is on both sides, yeah. So this the KMS is the one which manages that keys to unlock it in a secured way. Uh, and so that's about the software-based encryption. Here is an extra feature which is a hardware-based encryption is also possible. So sort of whatever we spoke is KMS or Key Vault is software-based encryption. But the AWS went ahead in this space where they also brought hardware-based encryption. That's where it's called Cloud HSM. So you can physically store the device that you have that you can get. So that if that supports encryption model, and they have tie-up with all the popular hardware-based vendors who support this, and so they integrate the software so that on the hardware, so that the hardware, whatever is stored in the hardware itself, is a secured aspect. So that is this cloud HSM will be in that space. So it will by default encrypted. The whatever is stored in the hardware itself is by default encrypted. So that's the encryption side. Then next is firewall. So this again firewall will come under the space of again security aspect. But yeah, here we have separate products under this space. So firewall is here it is a web application firewall. Here it's also the same name. Um, so there are firewall in Azure has two categories. The firewall for web applications is web application firewall. But apart from that, you can also manage the firewall if you don't have an application also. So this firewall is primarily meant for to capture that. So yeah, so it's all about managing your firewall, like who should have access and what port should be allowed and what port shouldn't be allowed, what port should have access to which IP. So all those things, the firewall management is all done using these products. I think yeah, the last one, miscellaneous category. So here I think Azure it is Logic Apps. Here I mean this Logic Apps is primarily meant for integration aspect. Let's say you want to you have some data coming out from some application, and you want to send this data to multiple other products, like you want to send an email. So Logic Apps has all the popular email mechanisms in inbuilt. So and also it's not just email integration. It can support the uh, the I mean the compute on the fly compute like lambdas that we saw. So it can call, let's say, another product within Azure or AWS. So you can form a chain of flow. Once the data comes out, let's say I want to inform to other two products. So there the integration aspect will come. So this product is primarily will come under the integration space where you can form a chain of integration inbuilt in this logic apps or step or equivalent to step functions. So once the output coming from one application A, you want to send the output to a storage. So you can use this integration components to build that framework. So it's more about the integration area. Of course, then it is Office 365, which is more popular product in Azure. Yeah, so it's all we all use it in a day-to-day life. All MS Office products all supported now on cloud. Here it is work mail and work docs. So, again they support not just Microsoft, but they support all the Google also. So yeah, so they support all the work docs. Here is Office 365. Then the gaming side it is PlayFab, and here it is Game Lift and Game Sparks. So it's more gaming software integration and development of gaming on cloud. So they come under that space. Yeah, just be familiar with the names. It's not important to know in detail, but yeah, just from aspect of knowing the product names. The media services here, like media services is more about managing the videos, audios. When we talk about videos, right, there will be a lot of I don't know what do they call the streaming aspects. So they should support a lot of streaming aspects, encoding of the encoding formats for the videos. So all the video related and audio related stuff, all or you can do it in cloud now. So the media services are it's elastic transcoder. Uh, um, Again, here it is integration aspect. Again, there's another product here called Simple Workflow Service. So the difference between Simple Workflow Service and Step Function is this is like Step Function is completely um, uh, this Lambda based integration support, and here it is not there. I mean, it is all before Lambda and after Lambda. So that is the difference. So this is not Lambda supported, but this is Lambda supports serverless feature, completely built on serverless features. Um, then yeah, so this stack, Azure Stack is also getting a lot of traction now. So it is primarily hybrid model is now. I mean, all the stages of cloud. It all started with all completely on cloud, and then data moving to edge, and also this hybrid model came. So most of the on-premise and cloud they have to be integrated. So this hybrid stack is where all the cloud vendors are seeing that is they need a lot of tools in the hybrid area where most of the data will be on premise, um, uh, but they want to manage everything whatever they get on cloud, but they want it in on premise world. So this Azure Stack is our outposts here are primarily addressing that. So so it is something like the it is like a mimic of cloud on your on-premise. So but behind the scenes they push the data to cloud. So basically you can access, for example, from Outpost you can access S3, or from Stack you can access Azure virtual machine. So on-premise. So but behind the scenes they are all done on cloud. So but yeah, so that kind of a model, so the hybrid model is what they're all coming up with. Yeah, and then this is media services. Again, media convert is a separate product, again converting from one format to other format and other things, right? So in the audio video world. So they have products called in AWS they have separate product called media convert, which can do that. Here it is media services, the same one what we saw here. Yeah, of course, marketplace is one area where we have all the customers whatever they want to try it out. So they have marketplace where end customer who are if they want to showcase their product or their integration aspect into Azure or AWS, so they can host their product in their respective marketplaces. So people who see that they don't have a specific need where I mean Azure is or AWS is not providing that, or then they can go to marketplace and select this products. But the I mean Azure or
So
AWS is
and
not.
also it is for the partners, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So
wherever the
it's primarily
partner
yeah,
solution.
exactly, the partners. So it's primarily meant for partners, and also they whatever most of the um, this is primarily for people who already have some investments made in the partners before these clouds have come, right? So, for example, F5 is a load is a load balancer that will be used. So F5 load balancer is very popular load balancer before this cloud world has come. So now F5 has an integration to Azure or AWS. So instead, if someone want to say that if they already invested on F5 as a load balancer, so they can go to this marketplace and select F5. They F5 being a company, they have integrations to F5 integrated with other AWS products. I mean, you can do it on your own. There's no, I mean, only thing is if enterprise is already giving you that support, you can very well go to the marketplace and purchase that product or feature rather than you doing it on your own. So yeah, that is it's primarily for.
Shyam, do you have any other slide or
No, that's
what
all.
is the
That's
name?
all.
Do you have
That's all.
any
That's
other
all.
slide?
That's all. That's all.
Okay, so just on the last slide, right? So I think Microsoft is planning for the um, there is a 365 game, right? They have that, right? So Xbox 365 cloud version they're planning. So that might be something good for the gaming side of it. Um, and as you are preparing, as you are stopping your video, right? I just want to conclude that all